I think we're okay to go. There'll be some stragglers coming in.
And they're not allowed to sign the sheet then?
They're not. Look, where's the sheet right now?
I'm gonna be Wednesday t-shirt today.
I won't get by Susan, you know? Alrighty, gang, good morning. How's everybody doing? Awesome. Okay, I'm a little impressed that we have 3 guys at the meeting this week. Usually there's like 1 or 2. But we got Kevin Cloud made an appearance. Nice to see you, Kev. Looking good as always. And of course, Ray and Dave. So it's, we gotta get the guys in here. I don't know what we're doing. It's like all female stuff here.
Hey, women are the best filters.
They are. Yeah. The thing that Janet Spellman did 2 weeks ago with all the stuff she does,
Very good.
I'd hire her in a heartbeat. I pay 8%.
Very good.
Holy moly, right? Like, geez, Louise here. All right, gang, before we get to the really good stuff, because I'm excited about what Damon's going to talk about, because we all want listings, right? Who doesn't want listings? Yes, it's all about this. Okay? But as usual, there's a bunch of stuff we got to get through here first. So, let me just, and I'm going to kind of ramble through this quickly. That's why you need to get a handout before you leave. Grab the handout up front, the main one, because we don't have time to go through every slide. Okay. I got to start off with some little slapping of the wrist stuff here. If you bring kids in and they're your kids, they can't go on the computer. If your client brings in kids, they can't go on the computer either. Okay. If your client brings in their kids and you're in the conference room, like doing the consultation, the kids got to be in there with them, preferably. Now they can sit on the chairs, but most 8-year-olds get a little fidgety, and they're roaming around the place. Walking into my office, walking into Maria's office, grabbing candy, you know, and we're all for that. We love the kids, but you guys know what I'm saying, okay? The other day we had a deluge of orange Kool-Aid everywhere that was spilled. It was a nightmare. Everywhere. Oh my God, you know, it's crazy. So it's not to be mean, but just it is what it is, okay? So that's that. Other stuff coming up, I know you're excited, October 5th is your MLS dues, right? Well, excited about paying that bill. You have until the 25th to pay it, but it'll cost you $50 more.
But Tim, if they broke it up throughout the year, they wouldn't have that. That's what I do.
Right, if you get on the Smart Pay plan, it's like $108 a month. Or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
After COVID, I'm
That's it, that's what you need to do. Otherwise you forget, you don't have the money, you get charged $50 more, Suzanne's calling you, your license is gonna get suspended, it's a whole thing. So get on the Smart Pay plan, it's probably better for everybody, okay? A week from today, next Thursday night, me and Jeff, Wendy, and maybe Damon will join us. We're gonna do our 4th Hit the Phones night here. Usually the mentees do it. Masako did it last time, she did extremely well. A few other of you did it. Rock Title, where's Anthony? Rock Title will get us a bunch of names and numbers. We have a bunch of scripts. We'll get you in advance, so if you want to do just listed, just sold, expired, you can practice the scripts before call night. Not when you sit down to make the calls, or you're gonna be the first time you've seen the scripts. So you gotta practice them, okay? But it's always a lot of fun. We have pizza, we have giveaways. I think last time we had $100, and whoever got an appointment got the $100.
No, it was 20.
Oh, sorry.
This time she I just tell the truth. I just tell the truth.
You gotta come.
A little hyperbole on my part. Okay.
You should give 100.
All right, it was $25. It wasn't 20, 25. 25. But hey, the market's kind of tight here, you know. The money's a little tough here. You know? We gotta do what we gotta do.
It's not about money.
But
Just for yourself.
but we'll have pizza. We'll probably have some T-shirts to give away. Some. Who doesn't have a Realty One Group pin? You don't have a pin? That's Wendy's fault. All right, see Wendy or Suzanne. Everyone should have a pin, okay, or more than one pin, okay, because they're really nice. Okay. All right, so that's a week from today. Also, we have our YouTube channel. Go to Realty One Group, Summerlin, and YouTube. Like the page. You know, I think if we get to how many subscribers, we make money off it. Isn't that how it works? No, that'll never happen. Okay, but that's where all of these meetings are going to be stored in the future. So if you miss it today, or if you know an agent that missed it and wants to see Damon's presentation, it'll be on the YouTube channel within a day or two. So really good stuff. Amy Smith, good job. Very, very good job doing that. Thank you. Volunteers for November, if you want to go down to the mission with us, it's a great time. We only have 10 spots. Me, Suzanne, and my niece Chloe are going. We always go, the three of us. So we need 7 more. You'll have a good time, and you leave there feeling better, okay? And then November 30th is the 5K walk run for October 1.
Can you take kids to that
You can.
volunteer?
To here? I
Yes.
think they gotta be 14?
It's everybody.
Oh, yeah, as long as they're not like 7, you know?
I have a 7.
Oh. Let us find out.
So no.
I don't think so. No, I think I'm gonna go with 2 years.
Okay.
I think it's 11.
So 11
Should she bring a 7-year-old?
So
I can walk a mile or run a 5K.
No,
There you go.
volunteer.
No, she's talking about the
To
mission.
volunteer.
Oh, the mission? No.
No, it's like
So how
14
old
or
can they
something.
be?
I think you have to be like 16.
16.
Yeah, I mean, Chloe's been going for years with me. I think I snuck her in when she was 13, because she's kind of tall.
So 16 at least.
Yeah, or, 14 and a
14
half,
and
as
a
long as they're
half.
not like little or something.
You don't want a little kid there.
Yeah, you don't want a little kid there. It's
Okay.
you're working for 2 hours.
Yeah,
It's not like
okay.
fun. or
It's
nothing, okay?
distracting.
And then the
Okay.
5K, you can bring your dog. So I'm gonna go with my dog Lucy. I got a lab, Lucy, she's coming. So I'm gonna sign up for that. A lot of
What
fun.
about Bella?
Nah, Bella's a pain in the ass.
What the heck?
Chihuahua. You ever take a Chihuahua outside? They just bark at everybody. They hate everybody. So she's staying. Okay. What else? I'm not going to go through this. I don't know how much time we have today. And again, my apologies. Sometimes our meetings go more than an hour. It's not on purpose. But usually it's pretty good stuff that we're giving you. And if you have to leave at 10:30, go. It's okay. But if you don't, stay. Because we respect your time. And even Damon taught me this when he did it. He goes, Tim, it's got to be an hour. We got to get him out of here at 10:30. And we did that. But now we're seeing things are going longer, and you guys aren't bitching too much about staying longer. So, but this is in the handout. I won't have time to go into this. We might do a meeting in 2 weeks. Maybe me, Damon, and Jeff, and Mark, like the brokers again, to talk about this, because it's changing all the time. But these are 4 things, you want to read this, that will help you when you're talking to the public about these lawsuits, okay? I was on a call yesterday with Waking Up to Win. If you're not doing Waking Up to Win every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, you're missing a really good phone call. Yesterday, me and Suze was on it, and they had Alex and some guy, Dave Romero. I don't know who he is, but they talked about the lawsuits. And they talked about Keller Williams settled a, what's called a telemarketing thing in June for $44 million. They settled. Okay, now they have another one.
That means
that-
they're guilty?
Hmm?
The settled means they're guilty, right?
No, that means they're not guilty. That's why they gave the money. They admit no guilt. But in that suit, guess how much every consumer got?
Every what?
Every consumer that was in the class action suit for $44 million, how much did they get?
$10.
$10.
Oh my gosh.
Well, he's wrong. Right?
Oh,
He's wrong.
a million?
$22.
Oh my
$22.
gosh.
Those cheap ass, you know?
So,
Yeah.
so because it was too
They
many,
just
or
wanna-
the
Masako.
People work for free.
Easy, baby. Easy, baby. Deep
Those
breath.
owners
It's
really
early.
just want people working
Tim,
for
how
them
many
free.
people was
That's
in the lawsuit?
Millions.
Oh, there were millions?
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, hundreds of thousands. That's why. Okay. So, but the company got fined. You know, Keller Williams. Not to pick on them, but it was a
Right.
lawsuit. And now they have another one going. So it's the same thing with these 3 DOJ lawsuits. The consumer's not going to get a lot of money, I don't think. Particularly, they're all going to be settled. So they're not going to get the. I think if it went to court and everybody lost, it was like $8 billion. It'll never get anywhere near that. So
Just
keep
file
that in mind.
bankrupt.
But read this. It has some really good information that you're gonna want to share with your clients or know what to say. In case you've been in a cave, here we go. We got 3 seats left. Mary's installation, $95. Okay. It'll be a lot of fun. We have 3 tables. Northwest has a table. Green Valley has 2. Mark has 1. So we might wind up with 10 tables.
Wow.
Which is
just-
100 of our
I think-
people out of the 500 that are there. That'll be really cool if we have, 20% of them
You're
there.
3 and you have extra 2?
Oh, I don't know, Caldwell, I think is getting a table too. Yeah,
Oh, so
right?
that's not the same as your.
Well, that's 3, he has 4, I
Okay.
think Mary has 3 or 4,
Okay.
Jeff's, so there could be 10 or 12, 15 tables. So we could have 100 to 150 of our people there. How crazy will that be, pissing the other companies off? It really will, trust me. But, so that's November 4th, okay? Some other stuff about the installation, okay, we've seen that a million times. The summit is coming up, as we know, in February. If you want to go, $555. You need to go here and just reserve your ticket. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it yet. You just got to tell them you're going, okay? The more that we sign up now, the more guaranteed we'll get the half-price ticket of $555 instead of $999. Right? I think it's $999?
Yeah.
Or 1111. Okay, whatever it is. Yeah. So, and we'll talk more about the summit in length in future meetings. That's the Christmas party on the 15th. okay? Everyone, we usually have about 150 agents go, and their spouses and plus one, so that's a lot of fun. Next Wednesday, who's been here less than 3 months with the company? Okay, just those two.
Maybe me,
three.
I-
Misako, yes.
I
Okay.
don't know.
You need to come to this onboarding.
Less than 3 months?
Next Wednesday, right here at 1 o'clock, where you get to meet all the vendors. You get the little Sky Slope training, and me and Wendy go through all the things you need to know about Realty One, okay? No one should be calling up Wendy, hey Wendy, what's the address of the Green Valley office? God, guys, come on, we're busy, we don't want to give you the address, get it, you should know it. You'll know it if you come to onboarding, okay, some really good stuff, so come to that the next Wednesday. First Friday and the culture planner stuff we have coming up, the next big one for the culture planner is the hockey season. Hockey is opening up at the end of October, we have a few hockey
It's
fans
already
here.
open.
Well, already open, okay, but
Beginning of October.
the beginning of it, but what the 26th is the,
No,
the 10th is the first game for the Knights? 10-10, there you go. Okay. We're gonna try to have it on the TVs without getting in trouble with ESPN or something, okay? Chili cook-off and the happy hour next Friday, first Friday, a lot of booze, a lot of food, have a couple cocktails, just a little mingle that we're gonna have, the first Friday of every month, that's what that is. And then the chili cook-off is cool, because we usually have, 10, 12, 15, the winner, didn't you win a few times? There she goes, Miss Chili Cook-Off herself, Charity Bond.
looking for a repeat.
That a girl. Ooh, a repeat here. No pressure here. That's Rev Up for all the new agents. We know what Rev Up is. There's some up-to-date numbers. Don't have time to get into it too much, but the big number is the inventory. 3864 today in ER status. 8121. That's supposed to be September, not August. My bad. Okay. So inventory is way down. We all know that. Okay, and it's Charity's fault because of the interest rates, but,
So we have 2 months of inventory?
do the math here, give it, yeah, maybe, sort of, okay. I mean, we have 1,900 total sales so far this month. 1,300 single family, 1,900 total. So that's, again, it's half of what it should be. But
Yeah, because a lot of our closings come at the end of the month, so,
Yeah.
make sure you pay attention to that as well. We're gonna have a lot of this, hopefully this week, right at the end of the month, hit closings.
yeah, everybody closes, 30th, 31st, stuff like that, okay?
Don't try to depress us, dude.
You are, man. No, man. There you go. You're a shining beacon of light here, All right, gang, here she is, Charity Bond. What a breakfast she got. Is that a combination of really healthy food and really, really good tasting food? Or?
Well, she's Danish out there, that's my
See
name.
the size of it?
I'm
I
trying to
just
get
had
in
to
shape.
have one. Wendy and I split the calories.
Jeez.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, so, next with, sorry. We are actually gonna do that lock-in list class that we tried to do on Zoom. We were gonna do it at 1 o'clock in this office, but we're gonna do it at noon next Wednesday. A flyer will go out today.
Doing it.
So just come on in, they're gonna, Ricky's actually flying in from Phoenix, and he's gonna go over everything about how the lock-in list works, so that like if you have a listing, you guys can lock in a lower rate, and that can be extended, and it can float down for your clients, or buyers that come and put contracts on. And in today's market, that would be a good thing, because we're up to a national average of 7.62, which means that your lenders are at 8%. We have hit 8%. Like, yeah. The funny thing though is I'm gonna toot my own horn for like 1 second here. I was just reading an article and they were talking about like loan officers. And I'm assuming this is nationwide, not just in California, but 2 years ago, we had almost 200,000 loan officers. Now we have 80,000 loan officers as of 2023.
And it's going down.
And I'm still here. I've been doing this 30 years. I've been doing this. I'm still here. I'm gonna be camping out my office and giving you it's fine, everybody. No, but everything's good. Actually, stuff is picking up. We're still closing deals, so if you guys need anything, open houses. Honestly, I always tell everybody that times like this is where you're ramping up and doing that stuff that when you're super busy, you don't have time to do, right? You're reinventing yourself, figuring out what you're doing. So I'm doing the same. So if you guys need open houses, marketing, anything like that, I'm here. And then do you guys have any questions?
Charity, are there any appealing first-time home buyer programs at the moment that might have been different from before? Is there anything new?
No, but I'll tell you, I'm closing another one. They are signing at 3 p.m. today. It is with Paul in the Southwest office, and our client's name is Paul. But another of that FHA buyer's choice, the interest rate, so just to give you an idea, you're getting 5% second. The
Okay.
interest rate on the first is 7.65. Okay, well, that's the national average. If you have good credit, put 20% down, buy down your rate. And the second is 8.99. They put $5,000 into the transaction and they're getting $2,600 back.
Mm. And
The
it's
seller
okay.
paid $2,850. I
That's
mean,
epic.
you can't really, I mean, it's not a lot. The sales price is $305. So realistically, that seller is paying 1%, less than 1% of the sales price towards closing costs. It was in lieu of repairs anyways, you didn't want to do the repairs. And our client's getting in for $2,400. So the interest rate's not bad. He did have money, he's gonna save that. And when the interest rates fall, remember FHA, you can do a streamline in 2024. So they're gonna have their first drop in 2024. They can streamline refinance that first and second, combine it, lower their interest rate temporarily. And by then, they'll be able to like save a couple $100s a month. 2025, they're gonna refinance that conventional and remove their MI and just move on and have probably a 4% interest rate. So they can either sell it, rent it,
Okay.
or do that. So that's kind of the way I'm prepping buyers. And the buyers that are saving money, I'm just saying, hold on to your cash, let us do this first and second for you. And that is giving them the security to move on with those purchases. Cause yeah, no one wants to pay, you know, his payment is $2,500 for a $300,000 house. You know, I mean, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
But when they're able to save some of that money that they would have put towards closing costs, because I tell everybody, sellers really aren't paying right now, it's a seller's market still. So that is giving them that security that they need to get through the next like 6 months, and then they're gonna refinance, and then in a year, they're gonna have that down. So, honestly, it's not a new product, but I've done a few of them, and every single person is happy about it. Paul's gonna talk about it in his meeting next week, so.
Thank you.
So yeah, so if you have buyers, let us talk to them, and when they see the payment, they're not that shocked, especially when they're coming to a 26.
Dang, that's a perfect example. You gotta have your clients either minimum talk to Charity, better off bring them in
Yeah,
and let her sit down and explain that to them. Because what she just said, I think I knew, but I don't think any of us could explain it the way you did to
Yeah.
a borrower.
and that's the thing,
And
if
they're not
you
gonna
think
believe
about
us. They're
it.
not gonna believe us. We're the
Yeah,
realtor. They're gonna
if
believe
you
you.
have a $2,500 rent payment, you're coming in with $5,000 to $7,500, because they usually require first and last, right? And then they require security deposit, cleaning. So this person is buying a home for $2,600 or $2,400 and not putting a deposit on it.
What's the purchase price?
Yeah,
What's the sales price? Do you remember?
305.
305. Okay.
And appraisal did come in. Paul didn't think it would, but it did. So, sales prices are not going down. So yeah, so please have your clients, or if you guys want to do videos, let's do, how many are in here? 3, 5, like 25 of you guys? So I expect to do 25 videos by next week. So, ready? Let's do it.
No
I
pressure.
mean, let's get it out on your pages and advertise it and get them in the door. So, thanks guys.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Charity.
All right, Steve, before I forget, spin the wheel for the winner. Do you have the bag for our, $300 worth of giveaway stuff?
Sure.
The winner is?
Tim.
Who?
I can't believe I say law of attraction.
Oh, man.
Masako? What? Oh, man. That a girl, Masako. That's
you
it, baby.
see it.
That's it. I'm with you.
Believe it.
You visualize it, right?
Have a
If
t-shirt,
If
right?
you can believe it, you can achieve it, right?
One t-shirt.
You want a t-shirt, you're gonna cry. Okay. Congratulations. And there's some really good stuff in there as always. A nice t-shirt is in there. Amy's.
T-shirt.
I think there's a beanie for the winter that's coming. A rock title beanie is in there. So
Keychain.
keychain, a lot of good stuff. Okay. All right, moving right along here. All right.
Yeah.
The incomparable Wendy Schaller. Come on up, Wendy. Say hello, everybody.
Real quick, Anthony, can you just turn
Yes,
that up?
please. I know, it's so
It's so cold. I'm
It's so cold.
Sean, did you want to come up here and sit down?
Did you
There's
want my
plenty of seats.
jacket? I can put my jacket.
Oh, thank you.
Before I start, you come on over here, and I'll put this here so you can have that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so real quick, just some part 2 of our prospecting ideas. So create your own networking event on Nextdoor or Eventbrite. We're seeing some people that are doing that and getting a lot of traction with that. But meet for like once a week. Just have coffee. You could come to the office if you wanted, or if it was like in the afternoon. But I always say you're going to meet with other business people, pass out your cards, and then you guys refer each other. So that's a good way to do it. They don't have to be realtors, but just kind of try to do something once a week, yes. Car magnets and car window signs, there's a love-hate with that for me, but I did it for years, and I took it off, then I did it again, but it really does work. You do get calls, sometimes not great calls, but most of the time you do get calls on that. Or people are taking pictures of it. Hey, I saw your car signs, and then you'll get a call for that. So I suggest doing that. They're fairly inexpensive, but also pay for the person behind you in the drive-thru and include your business card. If it's just a cup of coffee. Somebody did that to my daughter last week, and she just got one drink, and then they're like, "Do you want to pay for the people?" It was like $32, and she's like, "Mom," I was like, "Why did you do that?" I'm like, "That was my money. That wasn't even your money." But again, you say, "Hey, what are they getting? Can I pay for that?" And then give them the business card, and then that way it's just another way to spread it for an inexpensive cup of coffee. You can participate in holiday events by marketing yourself. You can buy a table. There's tons of craft fairs and things going on in the next couple of months. So you can just get a little table and maybe some pens or whatever and to pass out. I did one year Halloween bags. We went to a big UTV event, and I made Halloween bags, and if they had a license plate that said from Vegas, I said, "Hey, here's a bag," and it had all my information on the front, business card flyer kind of thing, and the inside a couple pieces of candy. And so when we did the trick-or-treating, all the kids had my bags, and I made them orange, so I was like, "Oh, look at all the orange bags." So kind of, that was a little bit more pricier, but I was targeting it was my farm at the time for the RV parking, bless you, RV parking people, so I honed in on that. So maybe just find something to do. You can leave, 4th of July, you see the little flags that people will leave in the front yards, or little pumpkins and things like that. So visit garage sales and talk to the host, because a lot of times when they're having a garage sale, they're moving, they're preparing to move, they're downsizing stuff. So just drive around on a Saturday, Sunday, and stop, and you just kind of look through their stuff and say, "Oh, what's the reason?" Yes.
FYI, Sky Canyon's having a community garage sale this weekend. So,
Perfect.
y'all,
Everybody's gonna be at Sky
everybody,
Canyon.
I'm not moving, but please feel free to come
But still, when you're out and about, just if you see a garage sale sign, stop, because you have no idea what the purpose of it is. All right, and then maybe partner with a local business and put a coupon for their business on your website, and then they can put a coupon for your business on their website. I've done that, and it actually works really well. Free home warranty or whatever you want to do to pick it up. But if you give and take to, for other companies, they'll do the same for you. So, but real quick, aside from this, we've had focus group come in the last couple of weeks. Seasoned agents, awesome information. Well, we're going to be starting a junior focus group, and it's super important because I think we have so many new agents, but it's not just for the new agents. Think about the seasoned agents that you have a listing and you need somebody to host an open house, and you yourself might not do them, but you can use these focus groups to say, "Hey, I know this person, I know how they do it," and then you can utilize them, or a brand new agent. If you're out of town or sick, get to know some of the other agents in here and say, "Hey, can you go show this listing for me? Can you do whatever it is?" But you've got to start leaning on each other. Because it's hard to be a solo agent. You have to depend on somebody, because I'll tell you, 9 years, I didn't take a vacation that I didn't work through. And you pay for that. Yes, you might get a good paycheck, but you're going to pay for that with your time towards your family that you're missing out on some things. So take that week off, but know that you have somewhere to put your business with somebody that's like-minded, I guess you could say. But newer agents, these groups are going to be great to partner with other agents to do open houses, so you're not sitting alone. And then you also might partner with a seasoned agent, gets their point of view on certain things. So we are going to try to get a list of, for the newer agents, a list of all the new agents together. And then that way you guys can call each other and say, "Hey, what do you do this?" Or, "Do you want to do an open house with me?" You guys can start doing things together. So you're not like, "Well, I want to do open houses, but I don't know how to do them," or "I don't want to do it by myself." So you just don't get started. But we want you to start working with each other. But you're also going to learn who speaks a different language, who's familiar with commercial or Airbnb rules, who focuses on land and high rises. So it really pays to know your fellow realtors. Don't feel like you're in competition with them. They are your group of people to lean on. So we're going to get that started. It's going to be called like the junior masterminds or whatnot, focus groups. So we're going to get that out to everybody, but just know if you guys have any questions, just reach out. I'm trying to help as much as possible. I'm trying to put you guys together, but it gets a little difficult because I don't know everybody's personalities just yet. So we're gonna get it together. We're gonna try to do something to where you guys all come in one night or every couple times a week in the afternoons, and then you guys can mingle with each other and get to know each other. So that's all I have for today.
And a girl, good stuff. Before I forget, those of you that, maybe this is your first meeting, when you come to any of our meetings in any office, there's usually paper. Take all of that stuff. All of that stuff is there for you guys to take, okay? That's Wendy's thing that she just talked about. This is the DOJ thing that's over there. But also, there's this. We call it the mentee cheat sheet. Me and Wendy send this to the mentees to what they should fill out for the RPA, okay? And it might change every couple of months, but this is what we recommend you put on the RPA. But the reason I brought it up today, I think we brought it up in a meeting a couple weeks ago. Somebody just wanted it. But down at the bottom where it says page 9, quick story. Last night, an experienced agent called me, been doing the business 9 years. Listing agent has not gotten back to her with the request for repairs. And I said, well, when does your due diligence end? Today. We have a problem, okay? If she had put this language in there that this guy created years ago, she wouldn't have a worry in the world because it automatically extends the due diligence. So if nothing else, for the rest of your career on the RPA, write what is on the bottom of this piece of paper. It'll save you grief, it'll save you aggravation, now she has to go back to her buyer and say, look, he didn't get back to me, do you want to cancel? Or do you want to take the house with 4 missing tiles?
It's in the realty form, I believe it is. Skylope in the transaction desk on the realty group clauses or something like that.
Did we put it in there? I wasn't sure
I
if we put
saw
it in
it,
there.
yeah, from
Okay,
him.
gotcha. Okay, good. So grab one of those. After last week's shindig with Maria, she's tired. She doesn't really want to, get involved and do anything crazy here. But she did say we're all doing well. We're giving support to her when she needs it, particularly if you're brand new. If you're brand new and you've never used SkySlope, don't use SkySlope. Maria will do it for you, okay? That's really, really important. Some of you try to go in there and upload it and it becomes a nightmare, okay? There's Kevin, he's best friends with Maria when it comes to SkySlope, and we all are, because none of us are really experts at it, okay? So everything's cool with Maria. And then where's our beloved rock title friends? There he is, Anthony Antolin. Okay. And in case you guys didn't know, escrow officer Laura Moran is here today. Say hello to Laura. Very nice. Yes.
She's a fantastic escrow officer out of our Southwest office, so if you guys haven't had a chance to meet her, definitely stick around. She'll be here for a little while. You guys can ask her any escrow-related questions you guys may have. But in addition to that, I just wanted to shed light, first and foremost, on Rock University. I think this is a great platform that is sort of underutilized a little bit still. I mean, you guys are going to have hundreds of templates available for social media ready to go, so you guys don't have to really reinvent the wheel and spend hours on hours designing all these new different posts. They'll be there ready for you guys to implement into your marketing strategies, as well as monthly newsletters he'll produce. Really nice. I love them because it actually doesn't really touches on real estate, but it's not so pushy real estate in your face. It's going to have cute little recipes like, pumpkin spice lattes, all sorts of good things, different little cookies and treats that come around during the holidays as we're approaching them. So definitely make sure you guys are utilizing that. In addition to that, he does do weekly classes. I know today was a little bit of an earlier class, so at 9 a.m. today he did have Debbie DeGroat on there. She's a luxury coach. She's been helping brokers and realtors for over 20 years, helping them grow their business and really establish themselves in the industry. So she did go over the four or five lead generation sources you guys should have implemented in your business. But the cool thing is we actually have a YouTube channel as well, like how Summerlin office just started. So actually, if you guys don't make it for the Zooms, he posts all those videos live on the YouTube channel a day after those classes are live. So definitely check out that video. You guys will have a lot of knowledge that you guys will be able to take from that and implement into your business. And then last but not least, in addition to that, if you're newer and you guys sort of struggling to find your footing with all these tools and, because it is overwhelming with how much you guys have at your disposal, definitely check out onerockstars.com. So this is Rock University, but it's designed specifically for Realty One Group agents. So Justin Taylor, our training executive, has, I want to say, 15 to 20 videos. We were looking at the playlist together a couple days ago. They're going to be going through the ins and outs of every tool that you guys have at your disposal. How to use your CRM app on the phone, how to use the one app and integrate it to generate a little bit more leads and have people automatically funnel into your CRM. So there is a lot of knowledge for you guys to go ahead and gain from that. So if you guys have any questions accessing that as well, just feel free to reach out to either Tim or myself, and we'll be more than happy to help you guys navigate through that.
And if you're new to the company, not even if you're an experienced agent, you need to take these 2 classes. They're really mandatory, okay? If you've been here 5 or 6 weeks and we ask you about these classes and you haven't taken them, we might trade you to Keller Williams, okay? Just saying, no, kidding. But that's how important these classes are, okay? The CRM alone, learning the CRM is so critical to your success instead of just zipping through your phone trying to remember a guy's phone number, okay? And then the one orientation is the same thing, so good stuff, man. Thank you.
Awesome. We appreciate it.
All righty, gang. We all know that we all want listings, right? Who has a listing now? 1, 2.
Wrong meeting. I'm in the wrong meeting.
Oh, yeah, you're in the wrong meeting. Yeah. It's a buyer's class, right? All right, so 4 of the 30 of you have a listing. That's not great, but it's good because this gentleman's going to give us some ideas on how to get some listings. We all know who he is. We know him. We love him. It's Damon Caldwell. There he is.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks. I appreciate it.
I don't know if you need. Yeah, you're going to need this maybe.
No, I don't need
No?
them. Not yet.
Okay.
I don't have
Okay.
I don't have a dog and pony show for you folks. Really, I'm going to go over some things I think for me as a new agent getting in the business. I got really clear on who I wanted to be in real estate. Okay, and it started with my little boys. I wanted to make sure I spent time with them, still lived a good life, had life balance. I do have some handouts for you guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about those here in a minute. But and I'm sharing this with you because I don't have a magic pill for you. I don't have anything to sell you folks. Being a listing agent is a discipline, right? Being a listing agent is a discipline. It's a focus. Now, that doesn't mean that you guys aren't going to do listings. Right? You're going to get them from your sphere of influence, friends, family members, and everything else. I just had a very clear focus on becoming a listing agent when I got into business. Okay? So I'm going to share some of what I did, what I believe would help somebody that wants to become a listing agent to increase their inventory. Now, I remember I was in a meeting a while back, and it was actually a team panel or whatever, and I was talking about listings, and I remember at the same time that, at that time, that's when the market shifted, and listings weren't flying off the shelves, right? It was a little bit of a struggle to get a listing sold. And I remember, an agent told me, hey, you really shouldn't be focused on listings right now, right? You need to focus on buyers. Folks, let me tell you something, okay? What do we sell?
House.
We sell homes. Okay, we sell homes. It's never going to be a bad idea to have listings. That's the product. Now, do you have to sharpen your tool belt if a market shifts, right? Do you have to change, do you have to have better conversations with your sellers? Yes, okay? So, getting into real estate, right? Wanted to make sure that I had life balance, still wanted to enjoy life and spend time with kids, sports, and all that good stuff. So the first thing I want to share with you, I'm really going to cover like 3 key points with you today. And the first one is just having a listing mindset. Who has a listing mindset? A daily listing mindset right now, where you're focused on gaining listings. Anybody?
I do. It's like you. I know what I want from real estate.
Okay, so you know what you want from real estate. So if you have a listing mindset, the next focus is, right, your focus has to be on seller-focused activities.
Right.
So who's doing seller-focused activities right now?
Yeah. Cold calling, doorknob,
Okay,
whatever retail.
so please share, what are your seller-focused activities? What are your seller-focused activities? How are you finding sellers in today's market?
Whatever it takes.
That's a very important question, folks. If you want listings, you better answer that question, right? You better answer where you're finding sellers. For me, it was not an easy path. You know what I went after?
Expires.
Expired listings. Now, you guys can, right? Oh, I get it. Believe me, okay? I was there as a brand new agent. I was a few months in the business, went to a class like Rev Up, and learned about expires. The instructor said, hey, if you want business today, and if you guys have heard me talk before, internet shopping when it first came out was very painful for me. Holding an open house was very painful for me because I am not a waiter. I do not wait. I do not want to wait for somebody to come to me. I go find people. And so sitting in an open house for 3 hours, I was like, I'd rather be knocking doors. And I did open houses, don't get me wrong, but it was more for listings than anything. But I did everything around that house to get in front of people. And that way, if I went at the open house, somebody showed up, great. If they didn't, I already had my contacts. I already made my contacts for the day, right? By door knocking and potential sellers. So a lot of my focus was seller activities, okay? Expired, so there's indirect and direct. That's the words I use. They could be wrong. There's direct ways of getting business today, and there's indirect ways of getting business today. We're going to do both, but what I would open you up to is, what are you doing today that's going to put you in contact with somebody that's saying, I want to list my home now? Great question. What are you doing today that's going to put you in contact with somebody that says, I want to list my home today? Not a month from now, not 6 months from now, not a year from now, but today. That's expired listings, folks. Those people are saying, I want to sell my home. I just need the right person, right? The right education to get it sold in today's markets. That's where I focused and became, I love the word mastery. I mastered expired listings. I learned my scripts. I had a slam dunk presentation up, which I'm going to get to in a minute, which I believe to be a listing expert, there's key things you have to have in place to be able to make sure that you're succeeding at a high level in the listing game, all right? So seller focus activities. Let me go through some of these with you, and you guys, sphere of influence is always number one, right? Sphere of influence is always number one, right? What messaging do you have going to your sphere of influence right now for them as a homeowner? What messaging do you have going to your sphere of influence? Because it really all is about the messaging, folks. It's about what you're saying, what opportunity. You heard Charity over here talk about the ways that she just got a buyer in contract. Had she not had that messaging, that person probably is not buying a home, right? She had the right message for them. What is your messaging to your sphere of influence right now, of your sphere of influence of homeowners? Okay, very important. Farming, right? We talk a lot about farming. You guys have, I will tell you, Tim and Wendy and Rock Title, Charity, you guys, you have too much. I sit over here as a 22-year veteran. I'm like, man, this is just daunting. This can be daunting. You have so many things to do, right? And just in one meeting, there's 10 different things you can walk out the room. Choose 1 or 2 things to implement, okay? Get rid of all the noise. Focus on the 1, 2, or 3 things that you're going to do to get your business up and running, or to contact somebody, or the people that you want to contact, and take away what's really going to benefit you, okay? So your sphere of influence is number 1. Of course, the messaging going to your sphere of influence should be on a continual, consistent basis, okay? Farming, if you're not farming a community, and again, these are just ways to get listings. I highly recommend you at least sitting down with Rock Title, getting with Wendy, Tim, and talking about your farming, okay? What community, psychographic, does anybody know what psychographic means?
Yeah.
It's people that have the same interests as you. Social media. If you guys aren't going on to Las Vegas Bikers Club or Las Vegas Hiking Club, whatever it is you're passionate about, right? If you love baking, whatever, cooking, martial arts, it doesn't matter. If you're not joining those groups, then you're not building a database of people that have similar interests to you. LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, connect with people that have similar interests as you, right? Because people like to do business with people that are like them, right? That are similar to them. You're already connected in a way. You don't have to earn that with them. You're already connected, right? In that passion. So that's important. Farming, their psychographic, which is I'm connected with our interests, right? Our passions. Geographic, of course, is choosing your community. That's the easiest one right now to go out and say, hey, I want to start in my community 5 miles within where I live, and I'm going to get into a little bit more in depth of what farming brings to the table, because that was the second place that I started killing it in listings. Okay, I was listing somewhere between 3 and 6 listings a month between expireds and farming My goal was always to have 15 listings in inventory. I had my numbers, okay? And you have to have that because every time I put one in escrow, whereas most agents, you guys put a deal in escrow and you pet that file and you log on it, and you know, and then you get to closing and you're like,
Good Trevor.
okay, that money's gone. Let me go get another one.
That's true.
One of the number one focuses, I had a few number one focuses. One of them was if I put a deal in escrow, I had to replace it.
Yeah,
If I put something in escrow, I had to replace it, please.
that's a good idea.
If you guys leave with nothing else today, if you guys are opening up escrows, do not let yourself close that deal without opening up, without going and getting another transaction, okay? Always have a transaction in the hopper, if not 2, 3, or 4, or 5. My goal was always 15 listings, okay? So I would sell one, and it would motivate me, it'd excite me to go, okay, I gotta go get another listing. What are you, boom, 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 okay? Very important. Expires. Again, if you guys wanted to really sharpen your skill sets, now this helped me become a great salesperson, right? I did not want to be fed, and I'll stand behind that. There is nothing wrong with being fed. What I call, on our team, we feed our agents as well with leads. 22 years ago, it was important to me, and I became a coach 20 years ago. 2 years in, my broker said, I want you to start training new agents, right? Because I launched my career pretty quickly once I figured it out, right? The first few months, first 6 months. But nobody should ever be dependent on somebody else. I truly believe that. I believe you guys should have a foundation for yourselves.
Yes.
In 2005, when everybody was tripping over business, you couldn't bless you. You couldn't fail, right? You couldn't fail. Right, when the market changed, everybody went back to the strip, right, or wherever they came from. We lost 10,000 agents overnight, right? We lost 10,000 agents overnight. Went back to work because they didn't have a foundation, right? To them it was, man, my mom's buying a home, my brother, sister, Tim was in it, he knows. It was, and then, what are you going to do now when the market shifts if you don't have at least a foundation to work from to keep your business going? Those that had the foundation and figured it out stayed in the business, right? Thank God we're here today. Charity's still here. Wendy's here. Everybody's here, right? But a lot are not, and we're going through that type of market, right? Not the same by any means, not that kind of a crash. However, things are tight, right? Things are tighter. If you guys listened to the Redfin CEO yesterday, right? You know what Redfin's plan is right now? Tim, you know what Redfin's plan is right now to make sure they survive this market?
What? What is it?
There's a certain amount of transactions being done, correct? There's 16,500 agents.
Yes.
How are you going to increase your business? How are you going to increase your business? You have to steal it from somebody else. That's his answer. We're going to take it from somebody else.
Steal it from somebody else.
You got to get your share. You got to get your share. Right? You have to get your share. So, and that's a very important mindset. You have to get your share of the market today. And are you focused everything on getting your share? It's not going to fall in your lap. You're going to have to go get it. Okay? Expired listings, a direct way of getting in business today. Right? I talked about internet shopping. When Amazon's pretty quick now, same day delivery. Back when they first launched, and many of you guys are probably the same. If I went on and had to order something and it took 2 weeks to get it, I was driving to California to get it so I can get it the same day, or to Henderson or wherever. That was painful for me to go order it online and then wait. I wanted it today, and that's when expires. I learned about expireds. It was a switch in my head. They said these people want to sell today. I said, move out of the way. Let me start practicing my scripts and getting on the phone and talking to these people that want to sell today. And I didn't give up. I persevered. I figured it out. I mastered my scripts. I mastered my presentation, right? And I started winning listings. History is written. Same thing with farming, right? Did that for a year the wrong way, figured it out, persevered, finally had the right messaging for the people I was touching, and started getting the come list me calls, and it was amazing, right? And very happy time in my life, of course, that I was getting into business. Let me go through a few more for sell by owners, okay? And I'm just sharing these target markets with you because this is where agents will fail. You don't know your target markets. You don't know who you're contacting today. Who woke up today and said, I know exactly who I have to contact today to get business?
I
love it. Who was it? Who are you contacting today? I'm going to call you out on it. Who's on your list to contact today?
So I'm going down my list of my sphere that I used to work with, my franchise owners, and here's my list.
I love it.
Yeah.
She had focus, okay? Clarity on who she's contacting. Who else?
I have a expired listing / for sale by owner.
I love
Because he listed it and the agent was horrible. He couldn't contact her, and she told him that she only worked 9 to 5 Monday to Fridays. And
I
he
love
had
it.
to show the house on the Saturday, Sundays because she didn't work.
I love it.
So now he became a for sale by owner, and I'm trying to, it's mine. So,
I love it.
Yes.
So clarity, okay? So probate, right? So another one, probate. So we go through the D's, right? 10 D. I finally figured out relocation. I finally figured out the D for relocation. What do you think it is?
The D for
The D for relocation.
divorce.
If somebody relocates, they're going to a new, it's the D word, they're going to a new,
destination.
thank you.
D for
I'm gonna call Tom Ferry, and I'm saying, hey, listen, I want a paycheck for this, I figured out a relocation. It's called destination, right? I'm going to a new destination, but anyways, so probate, marriage, right,
Yes.
divorce, right, marriage, the diamonds, death, diamonds,
70%
divorce,
now.
distressed, possible distressed sales, they're talking a little bit more about that, but be careful that you don't fall into national stats as far as that goes. Graduation diploma, of course, these are, so destination, relocation, right? The reason I'm going through these is because the Redfin CEO, at the same time, it's not new, but he said most people, today's business is going to come from people that have to transact. It's no longer the leisure, it's the have to. I'm getting divorced, I'm graduated, I need to buy a home with my spouse, right?
And we have access to that information farming wise, so
Absolutely.
definitely let us know if you guys are looking in a certain area.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Don't wait.
I'm waiting.
So,
Send it to me.
target markets. If you want to become a listing agent, you have to identify your target market, your seller-focused target markets, right? No question. The next step is figuring out the strategies. How are you going to touch them? That's where the rock titles come, all the noise, right? All the social media, the video, email, CRM, all of that stuff comes into play when you start talking about the strategies on how you're going to get in front of these people, right? And so you have to identify the strategies you're going to use to start dominating. And yes, you want to use that word. You want to dominate. You don't want to fumble around. You don't want to try. You want to get in and you want to dominate that market. For me, that was the word I used. I wanted to dominate listings, expired listings. I wanted to dominate in my farm. And that was my focus every day, was to dominate, to do something better, more than anybody else was doing in that market, okay? So, the strategy to touch them. So the next thing, what is your message? As it better be relevant to the client, right? It better be relevant to the consumer. So what does your messaging look like? Is it the same postcard that says, I can sell your home to, or for a CMA, call me today? Or are you giving something relevant? And I talk about market of the moment. What's relevant for a seller? You guys, let's go around. What's relevant to a seller in today's market? If I'm thinking about selling my home,
Pinpoint.
how are you going to help me? What is it that you're going to do for me in today's market when, honestly, I may not even need you, right? Market's so hot, right? I can sell my home at if I stood out in front of Walmart right now, I could probably sell my home if I talk to enough people, okay? Because there's no inventory, right? A little bit of the seller's mindset, so what are you going to do for me? This is so important, folks. By the way, if you guys are marketing, it's all about your messaging, okay? You can spend a lot of money. That's why when they talk about farming for a year to get a client, right? To get somebody to actually connect with you. Well, they're giving the wrong messaging. They're saying the wrong thing. They're trying to build a relationship when I need to answer the questions of that homeowner that they have about selling their home in today's market, whether they have concerns, how I'm going to be able to help them get a higher price for their property, right? Make it more streamlined, negotiate for them. It's all in the messaging. So what is your message to a seller today, to a homeowner that's possibly thinking about selling their home? What's the message? Got to figure that out, right? You got to answer that question. That became my how and why. That's what I call it, the how and why. The how and why works in many different areas, okay? How I can help you, okay? How I can market your home, how I can negotiate for you, right? All of these hows, and why you need this to get your home sold. Why you need these hows to get your home sold. I became a master of that in my messaging. I'll tell you what, that was the big difference in my success, was answering the questions of the consumer, right? Not pounding on my chest, promoting, it was the how and why. How I can help you, why you need this in today's markets to get your home sold. How I can keep you from, help you avoid, the pitfalls. That's all part of the education. Your marketing is a big part of that as well. So your messaging has to be right for the consumer. And the only way your messaging is going to be right is to have market knowledge. Know what the consumer needs. No difference from buyer and seller, right? You just need to know what the consumer needs in today's market, right? What are their focuses in today's market? And create your messaging around that. Very important, right? So, okay. Scripts, right? We talk about scripts, right? You have to know what to say to people, right? If you're calling expireds, right? If you're calling your sphere of influence, doesn't matter who you're contacting, you have to know what to say. You have to have market knowledge. You have to be able to share with them, provide them with benefits, with your value proposition, right? Why you? What is it that you can do for me? So scripts are very important. You guys in the call nights, everything else, you have to learn, what to say to the consumer. Now, you might be able to call somebody and have a beginning conversation with them, but you usually lose them at the end of the conversation, which means you might say, hi, how you doing? So I'm following up with you just to see how things are going in real estate, and great, everything's wonderful. Okay, well, if you ever need, I'm here for you. If you ever need, let me know. Okay, bye. Click. That's your average realtor script, okay? When you learn, and this is what I learned, you need to go further.
Set
Right?
up
You need to go further. Try to
Handle
get to an
rejection,
appointment,
very important.
but they might not be selling right now, but at least become a resource for them, right? So when I was out marketing, whether expireds, for sale by owners, farming, I always made sure that I went further on my script to build some rapport and get contact information so I could follow up with them. So my script was, hi, how you doing? Damon Caldwell. The reason I'm knocking at your door is I just listed the Johnson's home over on 123 Elm Street. I'm not saying you have to door knock for this, it could be a call, but do you know anybody that's thinking about selling their home right now or buying a home? No? Okay, thank you very much. How about you? Have you thought about making a move in, say, the next year or so? Not, maybe or maybe not. Okay, if they say no, then wonderful. Let me ask you, how long have you lived in the neighborhood? Where'd you move from? How'd you happen to choose this area? If you were to move, where would you go next? And lastly, let me ask you, have anybody that's keeping you up to date on the real estate market and your property value? I would love to provide a wonderful report to the homeowners in the community, and I'd love to provide it for you. What's the best email address to send it to? So I always doubled up on my scripts to make sure I got contact information. So you need to know what to say. Right? Expireds, if you're going to do expireds, again, seller-focused activities, whether it's expireds, farming, FSBOs, you name it, you have to have your script. If you call a distressed homeowner right now, if you found a Rock Title gives you notice of default list, right? What's your script? Is it the same that you're going to use for anybody, or is it going to be different? It better be different, folks, because they think you're a shark, right? If you call a probate owner, right, you're calling a relative that just passed. Yeah. If you don't have the right script, they're going to be pissed off. Okay, you better be very heartfelt with them, okay, and have the right script. So knowing what to say is very important. Okay. Next thing is, and I think I left it on my desk. It's on just my presentation. Grab some. Yeah, just that on top. Yeah, that there as well. Sir? All right. So I just want, this is not to, you guys, you can get in and build whatever kind of presentation you want, but who has a listing presentation? Who has a listing presentation? Ready to go. If you got a call today, are you ready to go on a listing presentation? Who's ready to go on a listing presentation if I called you today? I love it. Okay? I will tell you, folks, we've covered some other things now. You know the number one thing that helped me become a great listing agent? I had this right out of the gate. I had my listing presentation. You know what this did for me? Whereas a lot of agents are timid, like, oh my God, if a seller calls me, no, I better not talk to them. I might have to go on a presentation. Right? Let me get my presentation. Let me get educated first, okay? I will tell you, agents have told me that over the years in listings because a lot of people are agents are fearful of listings. They're afraid to become, to have a conversation with the seller, right? Instead they'll go find a buyer. One thing I really did was, I'm going to share a few things, and Wendy and Tim are a big part of this, as well as Realty One Group. God, I just invested in having my presentation ready to go from day one. So I was excited. I wanted to find a seller. I had to find a seller so I could use my presentation, right? The other thing I mastered, I knew every benefit that the company offered. Do you know, I'm going to pick on you a little bit just because you're in line of sight here.
Right.
Do you know how many international websites Realty One Group syndicates listings to?
I could, over 1,000.
No, but. And,
No, I don't know.
No, it's all, and I don't mean to pick on you because that's status quo. I could probably go around the room and ask most of you guys, you won't know. From day one, when I went on a listing presentation, I knew how to sell, of course, my value. Right now, as a new agent, do you guys feel like I'm motivated?
Oh,
That was my number one strength, folks.
always.
That was my number one strength. I was my very first expired listing, I knocked out a 15-year vet that interviewed for the position. It was expired listing. They were interviewing 3 or 4 agents. I'm not tooting my horn. The reason I got is there, Damon, we believe you're going to sell our home. You're highly motivated, right? A 15-year vet might not be, right? They might have 10, 15, 20 listings, and I might be talking to her assistants or whatever, but we know you're going to sell our home. I was told that many times over the years, okay? But I knew my value in whatever stage of my career I was in, and I knew the company's value. I knew the company's value. I could tell you exactly everything that the seller benefited from with the company's marketing. Because you got to know the how and why. How I can help you, why you need this help, right? How I can market your home, why you need this marketing. You guys need to learn the Realty One Group value proposition. The best place to start is in your listing presentation because it's already laid out for you. It's already laid out for you. It tells you in here.
How many agents we have? How many Realty One Group? How many franchising companies?
I'll let Tim answer that question.
How many agents we have? How many offices?
Well, I will tell you
really
this.
don't know.
Locally, we have about 1,800 agents. Locally, 1,700 agents. Yeah.
Locally, Las Vegas?
Yeah, Las Vegas, just in Las Vegas, okay? We're international, 14 countries. Right?
14 countries.
If you guys go to stats.realtyonegroup.com, the thing that's rolling on the screen out front, it's gonna tell you how many agents we have.
On the one zone, yeah.
No, just go to the screen out front in the bullpen there, in the open area, and that TV's a live feed, right? So anyways, it'll tell you there. So learn the company value proposition. I will tell you, so many agents don't do that. So many agents don't rely on yourself. You don't have it all. You don't have to spend a ton of money marketing and everything else. The company already does it for you. Realty, that's part of being part of an amazing company like Realty One Group. They provide you guys with so many tools and resources right out of the gate. All you have to do is learn them and leverage them. And I'll tell you, that was just one point of difference for me. I knew everything my company offered. And I will tell you, over the years, it helped me win a ton of listings. Because and you guys, when you do expireds, you're competing. It's not the same as a sphere of influence call. Hey Damon, come on over. In fact, I'll tell you what, there's probably seasoned agents in the room right now that say, Damon, you don't know what you're talking about. I never used a listing presentation. And kudos to them, right? There's nothing wrong with that. What I learned was, because I was competing and I was always focused on seller-focused activities, farming expires, I always showed up 150%. And when I meet with people, if they were referral or whatever, they say, Damon, we don't need to see all that stuff. Just tell us what our home's worth. and we're ready to go. Hey guys, good late night reading, a leave behind. If you guys want to fall asleep tonight, sure bet. Just start reading this thing. Let's get to the listing paper. Let's get to the CMA. But I was always prepared, right? Nobody could ever dupe me because I always had my presentation ready to go. So you have to get your presentation.
How many pages you have?
My presentations change over the years. Right? This is what I learned about a presentation. Doesn't matter how many pages. This is what I learned. Mark Stark, if you guys have ever heard the name, he was actually the owner of Berkshire Hathaway, right? Prudential Americana back in the day. That was my mentor. He was the owner of the company. I went into management under him. I learned several things. I'm going to share another one with you here in a second as well. But one thing I learned, or one of the best things I learned from him was, in your presentation, if it doesn't benefit the person you're presenting to, get rid of it. If there's a page in there that does not benefit them, that doesn't solve a problem or help them understand better what you're going to do for them, get it out of there. Everything in your presentation should be focused on how it's going to help them get their home sold. Okay, bottom line, right? So that's important. Okay, let me move on. What time we got? Hopefully I'm not. We're probably okay. I'll wrap it up. I only have 5 more pages, folks. I only have 5 more pages.
Keep going, please.
So presentation. You have to master your presentation. You have to master your scripts. You have to know what to say. Now, don't think of scripts as being a robot. No, you make them yourself. The script I just said to you, I can say in my sleep and make you feel so good about it, okay, because I've internalized it. I had the sincerity, the blood would rush to my face when I would talk to people at the door just because I was so passionate about what I was doing. I had a true belief that they needed me if they were going to sell their home. And that's part of that confidence, okay? So the presentation, same thing. You have to master your presentation. And again, you're doing your referral business. You don't have to do a full-on presentation. That's fine, but I will tell you this. There is nothing wrong with having a slam dunk presentation. So when you're not talking to your sphere, or you're talking to a stranger, whatever it might be, you're ready to rock and roll, okay?
Do we have a template for that?
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Now I had Rock Title, thank you very much. They actually took the One Lux template for my team, and I had them create it in this format, right? You guys, if you guys have not been on to, there's a brand new listing presentation. You know, guys, I have a lot of my own tools for our team and everything else, but I still am invested in Realty One Group. We have to be. You need to be. If you guys go to the design studio, they have a brand new listing presentation in there. It looks pretty sweet.
Damon, now they ask AI is the new.
Well, yeah.
That's the new.
If you guys haven't checked it out, though, go into one login, go into that design studio. They have an amazing listing presentation there for you guys to leverage. It's brand new and all the different graphics and all that good stuff.
Nice.
Rock Title has tools for you, so you can always reach out to Rock Title, of course. But okay, let me move on. So wants, needs, and expectations. So one of the things I'm really, really good at. Now I'm going to share a couple of these. These are tools I handed out. If you guys want them or not, you don't have to take them. This is a seller information sheet. If you're really good on the phone and you're talking to a seller over the phone, you can qualify them over the phone with this amazing worksheet. This was provided by one of our top agents back in the day, Tom User. R&D, rip off and duplicate, whatever. He shared this in a class many moons ago. No, that's what you do, rip off and duplicate. That's the bottom line. Don't try to recreate the wheel, folks. Right? You'll spend a lot of time, wasted time. Anyways, this is a wonderful, and the reason I love this is because it had a lot of the same questions that I always asked at the listing presentation. This is more so before you even go on the listing presentation. You can ask these questions and be prepared. Now, I will tell you as a new agent, I don't think you should, here's this other one, understand your wants, needs, and expectations. This is actually what I used at my listing presentation in front of the seller before I went into my spiel. I wanted to find out what was important to them, what their wants were, what their needs were, what their expectations were, so I could start earning it through my presentation. Very important, okay? Now, as a new agent, I believe, for me at least, I did not care about qualifying people over the phone too much at first. Why? Why didn't I? Why didn't I?
Because you don't know, you don't have your staff ready.
No. Why didn't I?
Waste your time.
Why didn't I qualify them over the phone?
You want to find out active.
Say that again?
You want to do a presentation.
Thank you. I wanted to master my presentation. So I was willing to invest, but as long as it was safe, I mean, you know, but I was willing to invest. You know, don't kill the deal before you get out there. Go on the presentation. Start learning, start growing. And then when I got really good, I started qualifying over the phone. With expired, sometimes I'd get a hold of them, I'd set an appointment with them. I'd go in and do the research on their home, and I'd call them back and say, guys, listen, if you really can't sell less than this, I don't want to fail you, right? I have a 98% success rate in listings I take, which I did. At one point in time through 2007, I had 100%, okay? Because I set expectations with my sellers when I listed their home. In fact, I tried to unqualify them a lot of times to make sure I wasn't going to get what other agents were getting, which was, I listed a home, and it's sitting there, or I listed a home and they called me 30 days later and said they're going to rent it out. I didn't have that problem, folks. When I talked to a seller, like, hey guys, why don't you rent the home out? No, they go, we've been that. You sure? No, we're selling.
Okay.
Thank you. Sign here. 3
Good.
copies. Press hard.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Anyways, so
Yeah.
but with that, I didn't go through some of that tumultuous stuff that some agents went through.
Good.
I got a listing, and the reason why, I will tell you, I'll be very honest with you. For me, it was money in the bank. I needed to know that I had a paycheck.
Right.
Seriously, and I did not want to take a listing with false hopes that I was going to get a payday. I wanted to make sure I was getting a payday. I was going to get a commission check at the end of that relationship, okay? That was very important to me. But anyways, going back to this, so you have to have the expectation. So there's worksheets, but as a new agent, get out there as long as it's safe, right? Safety first, especially the ladies. Make sure if you have to take an agent with you or something, make sure you're safe. But go on the listing presentation. What's it going to hurt? Who's went on the listing presentation so far? A few people, okay. And if you haven't, why not? Do you have friends? Do you have family? I remember calling up my friend. Hey, I'm going to come over and list your home for sale. What? not really. You act like a seller. I'm going to come to your home. I'm going to do a listing presentation so I can start learning how to do a listing. Leverage the people around you, right? Your coach, right? Wendy, whoever. Okay, leverage them. Okay, getting back to some of the. I'll buzz through some of this stuff. Okay. So listing presentation mastery is a must in my book, right? So you have to learn how to educate your seller on the process. That should be a part of, and that's part of your listing presentation. Educate them on the process. I will tell you, as I did my listing presentation, a lot of times I already earned that listing just simply before I even got to the numbers, because of the care that I had for listening to them, understanding their wants, needs, and expectations, educating them on the process, letting them know I was going to hold their hand every step of the way to get to a successful close, and you're just building their confidence in you every step of the way, to where when you get to the numbers are just a secondary factor. We already know you're the guy. Let's talk about numbers and get this property on the market and get it sold. Okay, that was always my goal. So, marketing strategies, again, know what Realty One Group offers, and then leverage the things you're going to do to market that home as well, whether it's video, the TikTok, the YouTube. All of those things are a huge benefit. You have to have a slam dunk marketing strategy. By the way, folks, what do sellers need us for? What are 2 things that sellers need us for? The 2 main things. Marketing their home, right? Finding a buyer and negotiating. Thank you. You hit it on the head. Marketing and negotiating. Okay, those are the 2 things. Who sets the price of the home? The seller does, with your assistance, but the seller does. Who sets the time frame that they want to sell in? The seller. It's their time frame. You're going to help them achieve that. They hire us to market and negotiate for them, right? Educate them on the process. So, another thing I learned from Mark Stark is it's always you and the client against the market. It's never you and the market against the client. That has a very deep meaning to it, folks. What that means is, I had a top agent, I'm sorry I'm going over, but I had a top agent come to me years ago. Steve, I forget his last, he changed his name.
Why did you change
He changed his name because he did something on social media with religion. Not Steve Hawks, no. Anyways, great guy. I think he just got caught up in I think maybe religion or something on social media or whatever, and so he had to end up Facebook blocked him and all that nonsense, so he had to change his name. And good guy though. He was a listing agent, he'd list properties all the time, and he was coming to me, he's a seasoned agent, very, veteran. He was coming to me, this was in the Southwest office, he's like, Damon, let me talk to you. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, this is like the third seller that's come to me within a month or two, and they want to withdraw their listing. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I know you're a great agent and stuff. I said, are you marketing the home? Well, yeah, we do videos, and the guy was a marketing maniac, do videos and all that stuff. Well, are you letting the seller know what you're doing to market the home, which is very important? Yeah, no, we send them everything that we're doing to market the home. And I was like, well, what's the conversation with them? Well, when we listed the home, we told them they were priced too high. And so every month, every week, right, every week now, we let them know, hey, your price too high. What do you think was wrong? And I just shared it with you. What do you think was wrong? Why did they want to withdraw? Folks, there's 16,500 agents. If I just need somebody that's going to sell my home at a price anybody can sell it at, why do I need you? Why do I need you? I want to know that you're going to fight hard to get the price I want. And then if I need to adjust, I'll adjust. What he wasn't doing, it wasn't him and the client against the market. It was him, the agent, and the market against the client. No, I can't get that for you. The market says so. Then why do I need you? I need somebody that's going to fight for me. Okay? So always remember, even with buyers, it's you and the client against the market. When you start telling your client no, or you can't do something for them, either you better be very clear that you're okay saying that, you're going to possibly lose that client, or you better make sure that you're representing them, you're fighting hard for them, okay? Now, I'm not saying go do silly stuff and drive an investor around for the year, writing lowball offers. There's an education process that goes in that, but you better make sure that you're still on their side, educating them through the process, okay? That was a game changer for me as well, all right?
Damon, good question. How do you deal with an overpriced? This for sale by owner / expire listing was like 80,000 over asking price.
Yeah, you have to educate
so
them.
How do
you have to educate them. You just have to educate them on the market. Use
stats.
Stats are very important.
Oh, no, that he did.
Stats are very important in that scenario, okay? Statistics are very important, okay? Anyways, so you and the client, always against the market, right? Plan of action to deliver your promises. So the other thing I had, I didn't pull it up here. One thing I got really, really good at and helped me win a lot of listings is in my CRM. Right now, I was doing expired, so the sellers have already been to the dog and pony show. They've already, they had the agent that didn't call them back. I don't work on the weekends, or I had that happen a lot. In my listing presentation, I had my 3-page listing plan of attack. Everything I was going to do from day one, 6 months out, to get their home sold. Everything. You're talking about 200 or so line items of everything I was going to do to get their home. I would show that at the end of my presentation and say, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I know, it's sometimes it's hard to believe, or you're not really sure, if an agent's going to fulfill their commitments and everything else. This is my guarantee to you. It's here in writing. As soon as I go back to the office, I implement this system, and it happens. There's no question. That was a no-brainer for them. Okay, so have your listing plan of action. I know a lot of us just fumble through. We take a listing and we might have a few things in mind that we're going to do. We start missing things, or things that don't get done that should have gotten done. So have your listing plan of action. I'm sure Wendy and Tim can help you guys with that. Know the value of your company, tools, resources. I covered that, and your partners as well. Know your company's market statistics. If you guys don't know our market statistics, you're dropping the ball as well. If you guys, some of you might not have great stats, right? How many homes have you sold? Well, okay, if that's the answer, if that's the question, I'm out of business here. You leverage your company marketing stats, right? Especially in a hyper-local area. If you guys haven't went into your community to see what Realty One Group has done in that community, so you can start touting the word we have sold 50 homes in your community over the last year. Guys, don't miss that boat.
Yeah.
Leverage the company stats so you can start getting into business. Okay? By the way, people are very success driven. In my farming, I had my monthly market updates, and then I launched my evidence of success, which is the proof is in the pudding. We're selling homes in your community. I had more come list me calls with that flyer on their countertop than ever before, because people want to see that you actually made it happen. Right? You listed a home, great. Let's see if you get it sold. When you get it sold, that's when I want to talk to you for the most part, right? I know you did it. I need to talk to you. Okay, so evidence of success. right? Know your company's marketing statistics. Okay, a couple of things and we'll wrap it up. Drill down into the community to identify company success for leverage. Please make sure you start doing that immediately. Few things here. Know you and your company's how and why your value proposition. You have to have it. You have to know your value proposition. I use open houses as a analogy. Somebody walks into the open house and they've been to 5 open houses. All right, they've talked to 4 other agents. Yours is the 5th. Why you? Why you instead of Bob I talked to before and Susie over here, whatever? Why you? What's going to be different? What's different about you? What are you going to do for me different? Very important question. How can you, right? How you can help market, negotiate, and why they need those things from you. Right? Very important. And the last one, I'll wrap it up here, is don't quit. Figure it out. Go out there and get your share of the listings. Very important in today's market that you stay very focused on gaining listings right now. If you're not in the listing business, it's getting a little painful. You know, it's the bottom line. It's a little tough for multiple offers, and you know, who knows what with the DOJ thing. Not to go down the rabbit hole there, but things are definitely changing. There's the landscape's changing a little bit. Go get your share of the listings. By the way, folks, listings bring buyers. You guys are receiving leads, right? You want to buy internet leads or whatever? Go get listings. You have your leads, right? Because that's what buyers are looking for, right? They're looking for properties on the internet or driving by an open house or wherever. Go get listings and you have Legion. So when you do get listings, last thing, sorry Tim, one commitment that I want from you guys, always fight hard to get 1 more listing and 2 buyers from that listing. Do not stop until you get 1 more listing and 2 buyers from that. You can't afford to have a listing and let it sell without getting more business from it. Shame on you. I know things are moving fast, listings are selling fast, but you better get your marketing out fast because we need 1 more listing from that community and we need 2 buyers off of sign calls, internet, you name it. You guys have a great day. Good luck to you guys in the markets.
Damon Caldwell, everybody. How good was that?
By the way, you still not answered, how many websites? I know.
Well, so we syndicate our listings to 60 plus countries and 100 plus international websites. Okay, that's.
This is 3 countries.
That's in our listing presentation. That's in the zone.
800 national.
800
websites nationally. Internationally, it's 60 countries, 100 or so websites. Okay.
And just one quick real thing. Think about it if you had 3 buyers this weekend. They all wanted to go see houses. That's a rough weekend for you, right? Holy shit, how are you going to show 3 buyers all over the weekend when you have 3 of them? But if you have 3 listings, you're sitting home on the weekend, waiting for the Zillow calls to come in or other agents to call you with the buyers. So that's why listings are so important. Not that we're poo-pooing buyers. We need them. Someone's got to buy the house. But listings are the key. It really is. All right, Dan, thank you all for sending the letter. Damon Caldwell, everybody. Closing thoughts? Anything on anybody's mind? We have Patty.
Yeah, 2 things. We have bowling coming up on, what date? October 20th.
Bowling.
Okay.
Bowling.
We gotta get with Suze to create that flyer. Get with Suzanne to create that flyer.
We also have a walk, like the night walk for leukemia. It's lanterns, and it's in November.
Okay.
And I hope everybody can come. It should be on our culture list, right?
Yeah. Get that information to Suzanne. I don't think she's created the flyers for it yet, okay? And tomorrow's the last day for Safe Nest. As you can see, there's a bunch of clothing up front. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, they're coming about 11 tomorrow morning.
They're coming tomorrow to pick it up?
So if you're gonna bring in clothing, bring it today or
First thing in the morning, okay? Because that's and next month, we're gonna do something for a local pet hospital, I think, that needs some supplies for their veterinarians and for their pets, so good stuff. All right, man, thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you.